I'm Robert Hisee, the UK's #1 unconscious mind therapist, and this evening we're going to be going live with Fabio Wardley. Big heavyweight coming out, big heavyweight. Just waiting for him to come on live now. As soon as he jumps on, we'll bring him in. He's had amazing success so far. He's had 9 fights, 8 wins. Nine wins. All his fights been wins, 9 of them. And 8 by a knockout. You know, he's a big hitter. He's going to be going up to the top. He's just flying through, and I'm looking forward to this chat because his mindset's there. His mindset's there. So it's interesting to see, you know, how he's thinking at the moment, what his thought process is. So I think you might just come on. Let's have a look. Get ready, everyone. Let's welcome the new up and coming heavyweight champion of the world here, I'm telling you. It's just connecting. Hello, Cheryl. Hey, here he is. Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm good. How's things, bud?
Yeah, all good, thank you, mate. All good.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, I've been looking forward to this one. I've been looking forward to it because, you know, I've had quite a lot of boxers been talking to, and I love boxing. Yeah. And the mindset of greatness, I love talking about. And obviously, you're doing something right because you've come out just ironing everyone out, most of them. And was it 8 out of 9 you've sparked in it? Is that how it's gone so far?
All bar the first one. So I had my debut. I didn't manage to get him out, but the rest have got inside the distance.
Yeah, that the weekend's one was a belter, wasn't it? Eh? That body shot opened him up. He was third round, was it?
Yeah, midway through the 3rd round. Yeah, midway through. Caught him with a nice catch counter left hook, and then just finished that up.
Because what I've been hearing is that you've only had a couple of white collar fights, and you've just come straight into the pro game like this,
yeah,
which is unusual, isn't it?
I only had 4 white collar fights, and then had the opportunity after those to someone offered me a pro contract, and just went from there really. And then just we took it, ran with it, and just kind of learned on the job, and decided I didn't know if that opportunity was ever going to come again, so I didn't want to say no to it. So I just thought, you know what, get stuck in.
Get stuck in and do it. That's it. I mean, well, it's worked, isn't it? You know, but how did you cope with that, going from just a couple of white collar fights, which is, you know, it's good, but you know, it's not like the same. It's not in that same league. How did you mentally prepare for that? What was it, or was you just have you already had that sort of mindset?
I just had that. I'm quite. Well, at least I feel I'm quite clear-minded in the sense, if I've decided in myself that I'm going to do everything, I'm going to do something, then all the other little bits don't matter, because point A to point B is still there for me. And whatever, I understand that along the road it's going to be hard, and there'll be days I don't want to do it, and I'll be tired and this and that. But I just all see that as it comes with the territory, as part of the process. You can't let that kind of deter you. So that's how I view everything. Once I've said in my head, cool, this is what I'm doing now, that's it. Nothing's stopping me.
You can get in, you can focus that and go through.
Yeah.
So people that follow me know that I'm UK's #1 unconscious mind therapist. So I work differently than psychotherapy. So I deal with the unconscious mind. So I look at the processes to fall, and you know, studying all the greatest from Muhammad Ali. I've had any world champion. I mean, Jonathan Haggerty. Hello, John. He was just on me, put his thumbs up a minute ago. He's a world champion kickboxer. You know, you talk to these guys. Johnny Nelson. I mean, to that little Dennis McCann, he's got a great mindset. You can tell. You can sort of tell the way they think is all. It's all created inside there first. You know, everything's being seen and very, very vividly seen on where they're going. So, what do you think about visualizing? Do you ever do that unconsciously? Do you ever find yourself visualizing a lot before fights, or
visualizing, sitting there and really thinking over, is not something I've really got into too much. Like you say, the unconscious mind and stuff is something I pay a bit more attention to, like subconscious, of just making sure that I've got good information going in my head, in my brain. I'm taking in good information, whether that be positive videos, positive books that I'm reading, things like that. I'm just making sure that it's always, that's the way I view it anyway. I view what you put in, what you get out. So if you're
100%, you can do it auditory. You know, affirmations are amazing. So do you use a lot of affirmations, or not really? Is it just?
again, not so much affirmations really. I just like something I do is I listen to a lot of kind of positive thought, positive words, motivational stuff, either also 2 times a day. So either as soon as I wake up and just before I go to bed. So they're
Okay,
the
that's good.
one to start me off well, and then one to that when I go to sleep thinking positive thoughts
When you
and
go to sleep, do you think anything about world championships or anything like that? Have you got this set in your head yet? Have you ever had these thoughts yet?
yeah, I've got it there. I know it's there, but usually at the time when I'm going through this, I'm always thinking about the next, so the fight, the initial fight. I never try, or I try at least to stay
Mm.
away from overlooking my opponent or overlooking the task that's in front of me. So I try not to stray away too far from that initial kind of whatever's going to be right in front of me next. There's always in the back of my mind about what I want to do kind of in the long term with my career and where I want to get to and the aspirations and things. But depending on kind of where I am, 9 times out of 10, I'm just focusing on, okay, this fight and I need to do that and that needs
You're
to
just
be right.
getting it done. So what's your next mission then? I know you got the English already, and
Yeah.
the British next you're going to go for.
Yeah, so the British next. There's some guys fighting for that later in the year. So that's already been sorted and stuff. So I need to wait for them, see what they do, see how that fight goes, see what their plans are. Whoever wins that fight, if they want to hold on to it, if they want to drop it. So
That sounds good, mate. It sounds good. So it froze up, yeah. I see you back again. It froze up there. I don't know what happened.
sorry, someone called me.
No worries, mate.
Yeah,
No
so
worries.
just about waiting for that and seeing what happens, and then I can make a plan from there. But I just want to be busy, really, just staying active and staying in the gym.
Good stuff. Good stuff. You get different fighters that you see people like Nigel Benn talk, where he was he'll talk about. He said when I've watched a lot of his stuff, he visualised like he didn't have a goal and he got to the British and he thought, right, I can see myself win the British, and he thought, well, if I'd done that, maybe I could win the European. And he done it at levels. Then you get other fighters from day one. Who do it in from the beginning, like little Dennis McCann. You talk to him, he's already. Even I don't even want to hold the English belt or the British title up. I'm WBC. I'm heading for the big game. So it's made out of different styles of mindsets in fighters. Johnny Nelson was another rare one because he was a bit like Mike Tyson. He had a lot of leadership with the mind. Like a lot of help with Brendan Ingle.
Yeah,
So it is amazing with fighters that have got a different story. But like Muhammad Ali, I love Muhammad Ali. Obviously, he's my favourite, and I love studying him because of the mind. And at 18 years old, he wins the Olympics, and he goes, I'm the greatest. I'm the next heavyweight champion in the world. I'm the greatest boxer this world's ever seen. And when I started studying him and looking back, he said he was visualising. He said, my TV was in my head. When I'd be skipping, I'd be winning. I'd be holding up the WBC. I'd be holding up the, not buying my mum and dad a house. Combination, knocking people out. He said, then I'll go for a run in the evening. I'll be visualising. He said, I've done it every day since he was 12 years old. Mm-hmm. And what we've learned in like a lot of sports sciences, that sports brain development, if you like, modelling the mindsets of greatness and athletes and training, is that through visualization, I've seen some study with boxers, that the ones that were practicing visualization, it was like a fraction of a second, their reaction speed ended up gaining a fraction of a second. But they said it was a difference of being hit or leaning off a punch by an inch. Yeah. It was a difference of an inch. And they said it through, they were teaching these, like trying it on different fighters, and every time their reaction speeds were building up. And this is because the unconscious mind doesn't know what's real and what isn't real. So as we're visualizing these things, we're creating the emotional experience, that's the real key, the emotional experience. Like what you're doing now, you're gaining your emotional strength, and that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be through visualization. Visualization is an easy, quick way to run it, because there's a part of the brain called the reticular activating system, and it's basically what you focus on. Like if you're going to buy a car.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, you see the fucking car you want,
yeah?
Or you say, I'm buying that car because no one else has got it. And while you keep saying that, you don't see it nowhere. But the minute you get it, they're fucking everywhere, right? So your filters work with you. And if your missus gets pregnant, all of a sudden there's babies everywhere. You go to your mum, God, mate, your mum will go to, I see Julie down the road, her sisters, aunts, cousins had twins, must be something in the water. Then you start seeing prams and baby. Like that's your RAS filter, right? And by visualizing and keep focusing on your outcome, that this thing starts to store it as a memory. So actually, your brain actually records it. You keep visualizing it. It actually records it as a memory. Yeah, and your unconscious thinks that it's already happened, and then it starts scanning for information, 2 million pieces of data a second, scanning for information for it to become true. But you start also building neural pathways in your brain. So when you, like Muhammad Ali, yeah, this is what made him so. This is what giving that. It ain't arrogance. It's not arrogance. Arrogance is when you're talking rubbish. But when you believe something, even into your fingernails, you know, you just believe it right through. That ain't arrogance. That's just telling the truth. There's a big difference. But people don't understand that because they've not been taught the creative process. So, like Ali said, I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. When he was in the Olympics, he'd visualized so many times, thousands of times, being a world champion. His body felt like he'd already experienced it. Yeah, he built neural pathways in his brain to feel like a world champion before he was a world champion. Yeah. And you know, he become heavyweight champion at 18. Not heavyweight champion. He become Olympic champion. Yeah, at 18. But he was the only kid in that ring who didn't want to win. This is the difference of mindset of Ali in there. He expected to. Do you know what I mean? That's a big difference. He won't get in there saying, "I think I'm going to try my hardest. Let's see how I go." He expected to win. He was just already visualizing through. He was already visualizing through the Olympics. And this is what I'm loving to like talking to yourself here and your approach of getting the positive information in. But maybe I'll send you some videos. Have a look at the reticular vein system. It's really good to know if you're into the mind and you listen to positive affirmations and all that stuff. And this is really it's a really good thing to understand what's there, because it's a group of neurons at the bottom of the brain that work as a filtering system. Yeah. As I said, it's scanning for what you see, but it only cares what you focus on. So it doesn't know what you want or what you don't want. It's like that old proverb of all time: what you focus on, you become. So, you know, it's in deep sea scrolls, Egyptian pyramids, along those lines. And this is the proof in that. So it was only discovered 6 years ago. But when you sort of read up on it and learn about it, it's so simple, and it proves that you've got to be focusing on what you want, not what you don't want. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
So someone's put positive mental attitude is the UK to success, but you can be positive, you're going to fail. Do you know what I mean? So someone just put on there, can't you be positive, you're going to fail? So that ain't positive. So positivity ain't everything. I think it's the vision of the outcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, really thinking about it in detail and knowing what you're going to do. That all comes down to obviously being confident in yourself, like you were saying about. Like, it's not arrogance, it's confidence. You've gone over something so many times in your head now, and you've done all the keys to build towards it, that it doesn't matter about everything else. It's just a foregone conclusion almost in your head that you've decided that this is how
it's going to be.
Yeah.
So in this last fight, was there any moments where you knew what was going to happen, that you thought, right, this is it, this is how it's going to go?
Yeah. Weirdly, at the mics picked up a bit of it, but when I sat down at the end of the second round in my corner, they were saying bits, and I said, don't worry, I've got it now. I've figured it. I know where the gaps are. I've got him, kind of thing. And I said that to him literally, and then
before you went out.
Yeah, and literally then went out the next round and finished him off, because I knew where the gaps were. Now I took them 2 rounds to take in that.
Open him up.
Yeah, took them 2 rounds to kind of find them gaps, take in that information, and because, like you say, I've done something so many times in my head now, the blocks of it all just clicked. There's a gap here. So you need to go there, do that, blah, blah, blah.
That's what I found remarkable about you, is that you've had, no amateur fights. You've come straight in, and your mindset, the way you was thinking in that fight was amazing. Especially that, as you said, that last bit when you come out and opened him up at the end. You opened the body, dropping his hands. Like, it was class. I think even the commentators were saying, like, how good your mindset, the way you think, and that is the way you read the fight and everything's amazing. So that must be a good buzz, must it, for having, no amateur fights and just rocking the industry already. Like, everyone's looking out for you. It's mental.
It's big, and I enjoy it because I like genuinely enjoy the process of boxing. Like, I like to watch boxing and pay attention to it and see what fighters are doing, and then why they're doing them, and what reaction that gets, and what that leads down the line. Like, when people ask me, I always say, like, I see boxing as like almost like a chess game, and it's about moves, and and they move there, and then they move. But once you've done it so many times, you know, like 3 or 4 moves down the line where it's all going to go and stuff. And that's the bit I love. That's why I loved boxing so much, because when I first got into it, I could see them slow progressions of myself, of getting better each day, getting smarter each day, understanding it more and more, and it was all just like click, click, click in my head. So Yeah, that's where it's led to.
Quality. I love it. I love it. So, who's your favourite boxer? Have you got one?
Yeah, my favorite boxer of all time is Roy Jones Jr. He's
Dick,
he's
yeah,
my
slick.
that's
You know, you
my
remind me of, though, when I see you, the way you look and everything, you remind me a bit like Joe Lewis, back in the day. You got that sort of image thing going on.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've
He
got
was great. Yeah, I love Joe Lewis. It's mad, isn't it? You get different knockout punches. Like, I watch a lot of boxing, and the Joe Lewis fights, he's got this mad knockout. Like some people knock people out and they sort of get up and that. He used to just comatose them, didn't he? They'd
yeah,
be,
yeah,
like, majority of them, they'd be
gone.
completely gone. And if you look at the shots he hit them with, I always used to watch it. My mate pointed it out to me before, another kid I boxed with, and then if you watch his hook, he don't even move his arm. He just goes like that. Just
Yeah,
does a little twist. And all these big knockouts are just all twists, not even movement in the arm. And they used to just go, it's unbelievable.
yeah. It was crazy, isn't it? The way some of them, they're just gone. There's nothing
Just,
there.
yeah, nothing. Complete sleep before they hit the floor. But I mean, man, you got a good knockout record, didn't you? I mean, that's gonna buzz the people, and it's getting people looking
Yeah,
at
I
it.
think
Really.
that's especially something as well with being a heavyweight that people there's an expectation there as well that I need to be knocking
Knocking people out.
people out in style or whatever, and just getting people out of that ring. Because one, as the fans, that's what people want to see. They want to see those knockouts and stuff. And like I
Yeah,
said, expectation. As soon as you say you're a heavyweight, you've got
yeah.
to be
People want to see it. Yeah.
yeah. They
That's
want
why the big bucks is there, isn't it? Because it's
yeah,
always a brutal.
yeah.
They don't often go the full distance, is it?
High
You know.
risk, high reward, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, you're looking in good shape now. You look like you really looked good shape that last fight. Are you still training now? Do you have a little break or?
Yeah, so I had I've still been training. I was in great shape for that fight. The best shape I've been in for a fight, definitely, because I've done the camp. I've done camp a few times now. I know the best way to do it. I know my body really well. I know how to manage myself. So yeah, I was at my kind of peak for that fight, and then I had a few days off, like I said, and then just did some light bits in the gym today. So today was my first day back in training and that, but just ticking over, staying ready.
Mate, with the way you're going, it should be easy for you to visualize Vegas lights soon, baby. It should be. It's just
Yeah,
coming your way, isn't it?
yeah, coming up.
So who was you signed with? Was it who's managing you? Was it? I can't remember his name.
So my manager is Dylan White. So
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
he's my manager. Yeah, that's who I'm signed with. He's
Quality.
on such big shows and things like that. So it's a massive thing to be with him.
Who do you look rate at the moment? Who do you like up there at the moment? The heavyweights.
There's quite a few, to be fair. I like a lot of different people for different reasons.
Different reasons, yeah.
Yeah, I like different aspects to different boxers. Like Lomachenko, I like the way he moves, his footwork, his feet, things like that. And then there's different. I just like big punches and things like that. The big boys that are just taking people out. Like Dylan as well. I like my manager.
Yeah.
He's someone I admire a lot because he's got that pure warrior mindset. Like he puts everything on the line always, and that's something I admire massively.
Yeah.
You know that from being around him, and you see that in the fights that he takes. That he goes full out every time.
Quality. Yeah. So, what's your prep for camp then? How do you get your mindset and gear for that? Because that ain't hard. That's quite hard as well. When it living like that, and in 10 weeks training camps are they're full on, aren't they? It's
Yeah, they're long camps. There's obviously a lot to it. I've got a good support base around me, like my family, my coaches and stuff. They're all with me along the way, so they give me little assistances with bits and bobs that I need doing. But about like my mind and stuff and getting my head and stuff, I take control of that. Like I say, the videos and stuff that I watch.
Lovely. Who do you like listening to? Anyone particular?
There's a few, to be fair. I listen to Eric Thomas a lot. A guy named Inky Johnson as well. I listen to him. There's a few different, like I listen to some bits of Tony Robbins as well, and them guys, just to I like switching it up and hearing different people's perspectives and things and different views on things. Jordan Peterson as well is another person I listen to a lot with his books and just views on stuff. I like broadening kind of my view of the world.
Brilliant.
And how I feel about things.
And I love that because some of these guys say the same thing but in a different metaphor, and then all of a sudden it opens up the knowledge you've already got into another area. You can't even think about using that there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's what I find. That's what I find it so amazing. I tell people all the time, people train the body, they don't train the mind. Like what you're doing is amazing. You've got to have food for thought. If you don't put, as you said earlier, you don't put it in. What do you expect out? If you're listening to the news, if you listen to the news, or if you read, listen to this, most of the music's negative now, or the newspapers, it's doom and gloom, it's COVID, like, and most people are moaning about life and how hard it is and how they hate their job and all this sort of stuff. And it's so easy to just fall in that trap of talking about all the doom and gloom in the world. So
Yeah.
I think people, anyone listening, should definitely take advice and tune into, you know, as much, you know, much everything more like morning motivation, isn't it? You heard them little type of morning motivation on YouTube. It's like mixed speakers when you're getting ready, you're out having a run or something. It's just little bits of food for thought.
Just about being consistent with it, just about getting that in regularly, like you were saying, like just what you put in is what you get out. If you're listening to negative stuff, you're going to feel down, you're going to feel rough. But if you're listening to positive things, it's like, again, like the subconscious things like that, just that it all works in one once you get into that nice like regular pattern of it.
I mean, you've hit a nail on it there. It's about how you feel. We have to program the emotion, because a lot of people don't know this, but you can only think how you feel. In 2 million years, there's never been a man that's ever existed, while experiencing the emotion of sadness, could make a happy thought.
No.
There's never been a person on the planet, while experiencing low self-worth, is going to make a confident thought. It don't work. If you have anxiety, your brain checks in and goes, you're going to make correspondent thoughts with me now, and you're going to start thinking something bad's going to happen. So you've got to, when they say state of mind, the state of mind is really your heart. It's like the way you feel. So you have to program that. Then your brain can check in and go, yeah, you're feeling the bollocks right now. You can do this. You can take your mat. It's going to make correspondent thoughts. And that's why I say, like, Ali programmed himself to feel like a world champion well before. And millionaires feel like millionaires before they become a millionaire. You know, a lot of them do it at night. They don't know they're doing it. You know, I was with, like, I met that Peter Crouch, the footballer, the weekend. And, I was lucky enough to get talking to him for about an hour about the mindset, and he said he visualised when he was, I think it was in like an academy or something. He said a guy got him to write down a 5-year goal and a 10-year goal, and one of them was to play for England and all that. And he said I visualised him. He said no one told me to visualise him. He said but I just see it every day. And he said I've done it all through my life. He said I missed out all my childhood. You know, he never had a girlfriend till he was 17 or something. He said I suffered. He said but it was worth everything now to live the life that I've got now. But he said he just see it every day, every day, every day. Not a day went by. Even playing for England, and he said the mad thing is every single thing on that list come true, every one. There were one that didn't happen, you know, but that's the consistency of where you're going to, you know. But yeah, no, it's quality. So anyway, who's your favorite, who's your oldest, like, old favorite fighters? Who do you sort of like? Did you like the old Tyson fights, or was
it would definitely be my favorite, just for his style, the way he fought, like his charisma and everything is something I look up to a lot.
Okay. Roy Jones, you said, wasn't it?
Yeah, Roy Jones is my more recent guy, the one I like, my real kind of inspiration for boxing, probably the inspiration behind like me and my style of boxing, the way I fight. And then Ali is just, of course, like that guy, the top dog.
Class, isn't he? Absolutely class. Again, it was his mindset that made him great, wasn't it? You know, he was a visionary completely. I mean, he weren't like a gangster rapper, just started making poems up. He had that all created in his head before he got on telly. He visualised a lot. He had everything set out in front of him, you know?
Yeah.
Again, a bit like Conor McGregor, he predicted a lot of his knockouts and stuff. I mean, I think what made him genius, I think it's probably what damaged him, that fight with Foreman, wasn't it? You know, when he had the dope on the rope trick. It was a genius move. Just took away his strength and just knocked him clean out. And you know, no one knew what he was up to. Even his coaches didn't know. I thought that was that's the greatness of a creator. Do you know what I mean? But,
and to have that in yourself as well to
do that with Foreman. I mean, that's unbelievable, isn't it? But I do think that damaged it. I think that might have been he did take some knocks in that fight, didn't he?
It went great for him in the end, but I think if he was around and you could speak to him today, he'd say the same thing. He'd probably say it was all worth it.
It's W16, yeah. South London, mate. Bermondsey. So yeah, where are you from? What area you brought up in?
I'm from Ipswich, Suffolk, so I've been here all my life. So just an hour or so outside of London. But yeah, born and raised here. Been here all my life.
How did you get into fighting? Was it a thing you done at school first of all, or how did you get into the white collar for that?
It was completely just like out of nowhere, really. I played football a lot when I was younger, and then I got a couple of ankle injuries that really like just done me. I couldn't do it anymore. So I knew my coach now as well. I knew him from something different. a while back, and I knew he was at a boxing gym, and I just tried it on a whim. I just thought, you know what, like I'm gonna give it a go, just see how it goes.
Well, that
I've
was
always
it. Just
enjoyed challenging my body and myself anyway. Like, and boxing
yeah,
training's hard like that, but I always enjoyed it anyway. So I just thought, like, fuck it, go to the gym, try it, see how it goes, and it just went from there really, and just my love for it just built more and more.
amazing. So you just went into a little white collar fight, just a bit of fun, and now you. I mean, it must. No one see it coming, then Fabio. Even yourself, really, bro.
Myself, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give this a go, have a bit of fun with
How
it.
did you
Like,
get on in the thingers? Did you do they knockouts as well then in the white collar?
yeah,
That's
they
why
were
they come and grabbed you, innit? They must have thought, fuck, you can bang, yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's how it went. So it was good too. It was good.
So what else you do to pass your time? What else you into? Anything else? Or was you just tunnel vision
Uh,
now?
to be fair, through lockdown, while there was a bit of time in lockdown, I got into I've been getting into a bit of tennis. To be fair, it's been
Yeah,
fun. Not something I thought I'd ever like really get into or something,
yeah,
but I quite enjoy this like. It doesn't matter kind of how big or how small you are. It's a pure skill aspect to it. So
yeah.
I quite enjoy that, and it's nice for me to learn something new as well, like a different sport.
And it's a good
And
cardio exercise, isn't it? It's a good
yeah,
little stretching
yeah,
thing. I mean, I've got a retreat in Spain, and the holistic retreat, and we got a guy coming. Gary does cardio tennis, so we do like a circuit with the tennis. It's really good. That's what got me into playing a little bit, just a bit of fun. Like you all have to run around and hit the ball before it stops and all that. It's really it is good. But
yeah,
yeah, something sports is good all round
yeah.
if you can
No,
keep yourself into it. I knew that was coming. Your pal there.
but that's my uncle. He does all my
Oh,
my
quality.
stuff.
Oh, does he? Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, that's what that company is there. OT Grub. They do all like meal preps and things. So
We'll see. Anyone in Ipswich needs it, get on to OT Grub. That's a good name, isn't it? OT Grub. So what's the next thing for you now? What's the next plan? You got any new plans, Fabio? Any
just
new
staying
plans,
busy.
mate?
Like I'm saying, just staying training, staying in the gym, staying ready for when
When
I
do you
get.
find out you're going to fight again, or you got to just sit back? Are you with Eddie Hearn? Are you? Are you with Eddie Hearn?
So yeah, so I fight on the Eddie Hearn shows. I don't have
Yes.
any
Yeah.
like contractual or any actual attachment to him in that way, but we have
Okay.
a
Okay.
relationship. If I could pick anyway, I'd fight on his shows. So I'm more than happy with the setup and how everything is.
Brilliant.
So he's the guy for everything for me. But
Quality.
yeah, just about staying busy. You just have to kind of after these like series of shows finishes up. Just got to wait and see when the next kind of bunch of shows are coming out, and then I can hopefully pick from then and just go from there. Really. So it's just a bit of a
Quality,
wait,
mate.
but staying ready.
Yeah, you're coming up. You'll have that British no time. You might even bypass it, mate. The way you're pinging everyone out, they might
Yeah,
pull you
I
straight through.
get there.
But so what else? What sort of movies you into? Anything like that? What sort of stuff are
Uh,
you?
movies and stuff. To be fair, I like kind of them. I like the older movies and stuff, like Goodfellas and
Yeah,
like
yeah, quality.
them older ones and stuff. Like them old kind of classic films is something I'm a
Once
big
Upon a
fan.
Time in America. You seen that one? That's a blinder.
Yeah, I see that as well.
Bits are long though, isn't it?
The
It's
new one
long.
that's just come out, oh, the Gentleman is great. That's
I've
another
seen
guy
that.
film. Really good film. I get like the same people that made Snatch, so it's got them same cool like
Yeah,
one-liners. Things.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Really good.
But anyone got any questions for this gentleman? Next world champion coming here. I'm telling you, I can see it.
Who's in there? Who's talking? What's going on?
No one's on there. I think. Let's have a look at it. Anyone got any questions in there? Not one question. Come on, give some questions. What's this? Once Upon a Time in London. That was good. Yeah, that was good about Jack Spot on that. Did you see that one?
No, I haven't seen that one.
It's on Netflix. It's about, I don't even remember the guy that sort of, what's his name? I can't remember his name. The other guy that had the craze, he got the craze into it, sort of led him build something. It's about him and Jack Spot and that. It's brilliant.
Mm.
But I said, are you going for drinks after boxing tomorrow?
No.
Lovely. But yeah, mate. So anyway, it's been lovely speaking to you, fella, and really, really nice to meet you. I hope to meet you one day soon as well. It'd be lovely. But hang on, what have I got here? Did you always want to be a boxer? No, I think I can answer that. I'm sorry, you didn't, did you? You didn't know, did you?
Nah, just fell into it.
He just fell into it. So he had a white collar, wasn't it? He started off with, and then next thing you know, he signed up to Big things, mate. Big things. Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. But okay, mate. Well, thank you very much for coming on. And yeah, I hope to meet you one day, son. And I'll definitely be coming to one of your next fights when I see it come up. And when we're allowed to go and watch again, you know what I mean?
I know.
And I'm excited for your career, mate. I'm really excited to see this go up. And I'll be the one to be able to say when you're world champion, I'll be blasting the life out of this video, saying, look, when he was coming up, before he had his soft top Bentleys and his private jets, you know what I mean? Who's on the radar? Ted Lawler said, Joyce, he's got.
Yeah, like they're so Daniel Zabar and Joe Joyce, they're the guys fighting for the British title later in the year.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah. So they're the guys fighting for the belt, and of course they're on my radar. They've got a bit more experience and things than me, so they're a few steps ahead, but they're on the radar definitely. I'm always watching what people do.
Love it, I love it. So you just still gonna slowly build yourself in, Fabio. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I'm young. There's no rush. I'm 25.
It's nothing, especially for heavyweight games. Nothing, is it?
No.
But that's quality, mate. Wardley, here, look. Someone's winding you up, look.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, thank you very much, mate. And I really appreciate you coming on, mate. And yeah.
Thank you,
No, thank you, mate. Honestly, it's really good to get to hear your mindset about things and how you're talking about it. So what I liked about it is the how you use the affirmation things or just positive, feeding yourself with positivity. I love that. I think it's a great way to say to people. As long as you keep getting that positivity in, food for thought, everyone listening. Get up in the morning motivation on YouTube when you're getting ready, people speaking, you know, it sets you off in the right mood in the day, don't it? Otherwise you come out, someone bibs you up, calls you a wanker, next thing you know, you're fucking all stressed the rest of the day. If you get up and have a little bit of food for thought, you can brush it off and, you know, crack on with the day. Fabio's going to be a legend. That's 100%, son, 100% he is. But thank you, Fabio. God bless you, mate. And I look forward to meeting you one day soon, Fabio. Yeah, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Fabio.